Hey everybody. Hold on, I'm doing some settings real quick. Hey guys, hey Jerry, hey Apple, hey Country Girl. Hold on, let me send this restream thing. It's I like StreamYard way better, but all right. Hey Lisa, how's everybody doing? I just got in from mowing and yeah, I still have grass all over me. But I have a little bit of time that I'm not really doing anything, so and I have a lot to say about this John Paul Miller interview. I don't know if you guys seen this, but oh, whoa. I know I saw some of it, highlights of it.
You and I have been talking since this happened, basically, communicating over text.
Who's seen this?
Why now? Why the decision to speak now after all this time has passed?
Hey, Rhonda.
Where's your head at?
Hey, Paula.
Well, I think part of it is I finally got the approval of my attorneys to do so. They
Yeah, it's pretty
the ones
decent
working on the
size.
defamation cases. They said it's easier
backyard,
to
too.
win a defamation case the more the people talk, and so they've been collecting a lot of evidence over the past while, and also I think that now that some of the emotion has died down in the world and with people that are led by their feelings, I think now they deserve to hear some logic and some truth.
Oh, some logic.
And make their own assessment.
Do you miss her?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Did you see this coming?
Yes, but it doesn't change at all the power of the pain of reality. I saw it coming for years. I told them for years this would happen over and over. I said if she gets off her medicine.
He's trying to put blame on the family. This isn't going to go good. Hey, Kitten Capoodler, Robin, Luminous. Hey, Hubs. Yeah, playing the victim, and something's up with him. Like, of course something's up with him, but his eye, he looks like he's either been drinking a lot. He looks like somebody who's been drinking a lot lately. I mean, I know he's been crying, but he just has that hungover look.
Suicide is the next thing. She tried it in the past, but with me, she always remained okay with me. She was on her meds with me. She was healthy and happy. And even if she did get low or stop taking her medicine, I would help her get back on it, and things would be fine. Without me and with her family, she's off meds, and she committed suicide. And I
See, he keeps doing that. Oh, without me and in the care of her family. Oh, her family, when she wasn't with me and with her family, you know, she unalived herself.
I told them this would happen over and over again. I tried my best to stop her from getting a gun. I went to judges. I have copies of all the police. I talked to her counselor, the pastor she was going to, her family, her friends. I told them all, don't let her get a gun. Do whatever it takes, prevent her from getting a gun. And when she was with me, she was never able to go that far. But with them, that's exactly what happened. And
How can they keep her from? If she's an adult, I mean, unless they, I don't know. He's just been. He's got a. Yeah, he is disgusting. Diana, I would have went live on my other channel had I known you were available. I was just doing this because I didn't have anything going on right now. I just got in from mowing and what Band-Aid? Band-Aid. Oh, Band-Aid. Band-Aid's the cutest. I have to show this. Such a sweet baby. Did you see that they started to build a fence in front of the church and they put a stop sign on it, I think, due to not having a permit? What? I think he's licking my sweat off my face because I just got in from mowing. Okay. I mean, I'm not really sweating right now, but I'm sure it's a little salty. Little salty? Don't. What's this say? It says, don't be salty. Well, you didn't pay attention. Oh, really, Betty? This one doesn't have eyes, but oh, you're making dinner right now? Oh, wait, hold on. You guys can't see it, can you? I'm sure
her family won't
watching.
let her. She told me she wanted to live in Africa and asked me if I'd live with her.
Makeup
I said, sure, if you
mobster?
take your
Wasn't
medicine,
that something that happened a long time ago?
And so she told me if I'd give her some money and if I would
Cue your breath.
write her a letter saying certain things in this letter that she would take her medicine. And so I tried that, and but she desperately wanted to come home. She was just so afraid her family would disown her. And so the week before she passed away, I probably emailed her maybe 7 or 8 times that week just saying, I love you.
Well, since Fred brought it up, I wasn't going to say anything because it's made me kind of awkward feeling, to be honest. I had to tell that neighbor guy that I was married today because once again, he messaged me and I was outside mowing and I had neon on, neon shorts. And he messaged and said, looking good over there, digging the neon green. I was taking out my trash and glanced. And then yesterday, because he sent this food picture and stuff, like a random picture of his food and his business card. So I said, thank you. I love it too. I just got the shorts from my hubby as a gift. It's his favorite color. I can't wait till he's back in a few days. You and your wife will have to meet him. It was really good meeting you guys. He goes, where's your husband? He goes, and then he was like, I said, I didn't tell him all quite the truth, but I did tell him he's in Tennessee. And he said, well, I haven't seen a mail over there for a while, so I was thinking maybe something happened. So it was really uncomfortable. I'm like, how do I say this to him? So I just said, oh, thank you. My hubby got them for me. It's his favorite color, which it really is his favorite color. Yeah, that's what I said, 4 flying doves. I was just trying to think of a way to not be rude about it and try to make things as least awkward as possible because he is my neighbor. You know what I mean? And I'm going to see him out, like, and because I'm constantly walking and I have to pass his house. There is a way to get around and not go by his house, but it's longer, which I was going to do today, but forgot. And then his door was open, but thank God he didn't stop me. Makeup monster. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, because Fred said, yeah, my husband likes him too. So I told him to tell him. So I was trying to think of a way to. No, I'm not going to say anything else. He asked some other questions too. And I just had to stop responding, like some personal questions. And I just don't want him to know some of that stuff because, for one, he was asking about my YouTube and stuff. And I don't know. I don't know. This is going to. Yeah, so I did. What'd she call CPS and say? Was it made up stuff? Because that's not okay to sit there and just lie on somebody. I mean, I don't care who you are, whether I don't have a problem with Laura. Perplex QT, I'm assuming that's who you're talking about. But I don't agree with, if you have to lie on somebody, then it's not right. Yeah, I didn't know what to do, Ken Compoodler, and like it was putting me in an awkward position because, like, if he wasn't a neighbor, like, I would just like not respond at all. Or block him as something, but I didn't want it to be awkward, so I was just trying to think of a nice way to let him know without making it awkward. Yeah, I don't know Makeup Mobster real well, but do you know what was put in this CPS report? So how did she have proof that Laura did that? Because I'd like to know who's calling CPS on me. I mean, I know it's more than one person, but there's a couple main ones. I'd like to know for without a doubt. So how do you find out something like that? Because they have it anonymous for a reason in hopes that people use it responsibly, but they don't. Oh wow. Dude, that's crazy, Jackie. Say he has to spend some time out with town for I did. I said for family. Hey, sunshine. They won't tell me here. Well, they don't know because there's an anonymous tip line. No, I'm pretty sure just because I am pretty sure this last one was Fred's sister. Because I think that's the only reason why they came out, because she claimed to be family, Because if it's some random person they haven't met before, because they'll probably ask, I'm guessing they ask your relationship to the person. And yeah, I'm pretty sure how that's, this last one, why they came out, because they said it was family.
You need your lithium. Don't forget who you are when you're on medicine versus who you are when you're off. She had lost 40 pounds in a month, and nobody that was in her life thought to take care of her.
Jackie, are you serious? Ouch.
Nobody. She was living with a former registered nurse. Her family, quote unquote, were taking care of her. She lost 40 pounds in 1 month, and no one thought she needed help. She was talking about living in Africa. No one thought she needed help. She's making videos on Facebook, and if you see the videos, you know it's not her, because she has a different cadence, a different tone, a different amount of words per minute when she's healthy and on medicine than when she's off. And the way she was even looking into space when she's taking those videos, you knew she was delusional. And if somebody loved her enough to take her to a professional and say, okay, this woman says she's being abused, or this woman says, this, or she's lost 40 pounds in a month. If someone thought, I need to take her to a professional, that professional would have known that she needed medicine. And the reason I know that's true is because I took her a few weeks before she passed away. I took her to probate court. And in 3 minutes time, she went in, she walked back out. When I went in, they said, your wife is mentally ill and she needs medicine desperately. And I said, okay, let's do it. Let's get her the medicine. Let's get her help. And they said, she's not a danger to anybody in society, so we can't force her to do it. But if one of her family members or friends had taken note of the way she was acting and seen what was happening to her physically and taken her to just one professional, they could have saved her life.
Where were you when Mica died?
Oh. If they said that to you, they're going to say that to somebody else too who brings her there. So I think it's a low blow that this dude keeps blaming the family, and I know what he's doing. He's doing it to try to get back at the family because the family's pointing fingers at him. Yep, liar, liar, pants on fire. I cut through the field and my leotards would... Lithium is very, very strong. What was her diagnosis? You usually give that to people who get... Really? Do they give that to... I've never, ever... That's one thing I've never taken is lithium, or... I don't know if people abuse that. But see, if they're going to tell him, he tried to take her in a few weeks in. He said, oh, if they loved her enough to try to get her help, if they loved her enough, trying to basically say, oh, you didn't love her enough, and that's why she's not here anymore. It's all your fault. With bipolar or manic depressive disorder. Hey, Linda. Yeah, I never heard about lithium with the drug things, but I don't know if they maybe they used to. It might have been something they used to give back in the day. For addicts, I don't know. I don't know if it would help or not.
It was on a Saturday. I was in Charleston with about 100 people from my kids' school.
What was it?
Oh, soccer. It was a soccer tournament.
Okay, so we know, I've gone through Mica's last day, pretty much almost down to the minute. Bring us through your last day? You said soccer. Do you have any documentation that they were there?
Oh, you're asking because, okay, I got you. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I can't believe people. Oh my Lord. So yeah, I was with about 100 people.
What the hell, dude? You can't believe people. We've seen you in a video on the ground crying and like a baby. We've seen you preaching the day. He tried to make an excuse for that too, that said that he didn't believe the news and he thought her family was lying to him. Hey, Lisa. Jesus, how boring. And title sounds like you interview him? No, people are going to know that I'm not interviewing him. Obviously, this is his very first interview. He's not going to come on here. Took him enough time to just come out to News Nation.
That night, we were all together at the soccer fields that day. Afterwards, after the soccer game, somebody was with me the entire time, who I can't name due to legal purposes, but I will say it's somebody that I love more than anything else on planet Earth.
Man or woman?
Young person that I cannot name due to legal purposes, but somebody that I am responsible for and love very, very much. And that person was with me, and we went shopping in Charleston, and we got
somebody
food in
he's
Charleston.
Responsible for. Who is he talking about? They don't have kids, do they? Somebody he's responsible for. Who could that be? You weirdo. So he has a kid. Oh, that's right. He has kids from his previous marriage. That's right. Yeah, I mean, I don't think John Paul Miller. I guess I could see John Paul Miller interview with Ziggy. I didn't think people would actually think I'm talking to him, but I guess I could change the title. I didn't think of that, but I don't think it's that big a deal right this second. I mean, there's only 70 people in here. It's not like it's like drawn in the crowd. Oh, is it? I'm sure it is. What are you doing back there, sweetie pie? What are you doing up now?
Austin, and there's all the receipts from that throughout the time. I think we might have gotten gas too, and then made it back to Myrtle Beach. And I was just actually looking today at emails that I sent her that day. I sent her 4 emails that day, and I just noticed today that 2 of those she wasn't able to read because it was after it had happened.
What do you think happened that day?
So, according to what she's tried to do in the past, and according to her doctors who have taken care of her for years, and according to me who's seen it over and over again, I imagine that she was in an incredibly euphoric attitude. I saw her pictures on the Dick's Pawn Shop. Someone sent me screenshots of the Dick's Pawn Shop pictures where she's smiling, which out of the 6 or 7 times that she tried to commit suicide in the past, only one of those times was she depressed. The other times, she was very euphoric. And she would wake up and say, I think I'm supposed to die today. And I said, no, honey, you're not going to do that. She said, well, my mind tells me that I'm supposed to kill myself. I said, we're not going to listen to your mind. We're going to take you to a doctor and get you help. And I discovered, of course, that she had stopped taking her meds each time. But either way, she was in a euphoric attitude. And so you see the Dick's Pawn Shop video where she's wearing her work clothes and with a smile on her face. So they sold her a weapon, and then I assumed that she drove. She told one of her best friends. So far, the 4 people she spent the most time with every week.
You sold her a weapon? I can't even mimic that. Weapon? I mean, I hate to even make fun of the dude, but there's something about him. Now, what if? Could it be possible that Mica Miller was just completely crazy, just really, maybe is it true? Maybe she was mentally ill and she was accusing this dude of like heinous things. What's his ex-wife say as far as his is there anybody else that's come out about his sexual indiscretions that could corroborate the whole story about him getting prostitutes and stuff like that, or getting male, like homeless people? Lithium makes you sleep at first. If it does that, I can see then why they would give it to people coming off of certain drugs, if it makes you sleep for a long time, because that's like really the only thing, used to be the only thing you could really do to get through it, is to get so medicated at the hospital so you sleep for days. That used to be the only way to really do it, that to help. So I could see maybe that if lithium makes you sleep like that, then yeah, it's possible they give it to addicts. Or they used to. Probably not so much anymore, I wouldn't think, but I know he was cheating, but the weird sexual things like that Mica was claiming, like where he would pick up a homeless man and have him like do weird stuff to her. Was this really true, or is these her delusions? I feel really bad if that were true, it was all just illusion, or her psychotic episodes. I know that he's trying to really, really push that, so it makes me kind of like, and also the way it puts a bad taste in my mouth how he blames the family, but at the same time the family blames him, and I could see somebody being very upset that they're being accused of murder, or murder. I don't think there's any way he could have actually did it himself, but Mica mentions that, yeah, but I'm saying, is there anybody else? Because if she was really that out there, like that's what he's trying to say. He's trying to say she was just so mentally gone that, and that's, why she was making these claims. That even in a letter that he wrote, he's trying to say where he admitted certain things to her. He said he did that just to appease her. That most of the stuff in the letter weren't even true. Like if somebody's having a psychotic episode, which speaking, well, I'll talk about that later. It's a completely different case. You see what I'm getting at? Could she have been or could it be psychotic episodes? I just want to see if there's anybody else that comes out with the sexual stuff that could, of course, no men are going to come out and admit that he picked him up and that they did those things to Mica.
No one's interviewed or talked to those 4 people. And one of those people that I talked to told me that she told her 2 years ago, if I ever commit suicide, I'm going to go to this place in Lumberton, the state park or something like that.
Which friend is that?
I probably wouldn't want to name her because I saw this friend one time here in public for 30 seconds. And of course, Robbie S. Harvey, as usual, got somebody to take a picture and destroyed the girl's life, brought up her past and horrible things about her. So people are scared to tell the truth or to talk about the good things of Mica because of the social media.
So this
mobs.
friend says that Mica told
The
her,
good things?
if I'm going to take my life, I will probably do it in Lumberton River State Park.
She told me that after Mica passed away, but she told me that Mica told her that 2 years ago. Yeah.
Did she say why? Why that location?
She said because Mica told her it was peaceful and outdoors. And Mica did love the outdoors, loved the outdoors. Vacations were outdoor.
He has a little fidget thing in his hand. That's what I need. That would probably help me a lot. Yeah, but I don't think Kenton Bludler, I don't think very many people, this interview does him any good. I think it makes him look worse. But I'm just trying to think, what if it is possible what he's saying is true, that she did have some major mental issues. I mean, he was with her for a long time, right? And with her the majority of the time. But not the last year, though, supposedly.
Can I do something?
No.
Thanks. Can I do?
No.
Thanks.
Kit Shorter. She's asking for money again, like always.
Has she ever been there?
No, not that I know of. Not ever that I know of.
Do you guys have any connection to that area?
Not at all. I never
Have
even
you ever
heard of
been
it. Nope. I've never even heard of the place. I never even heard of, what's the city? Robinson County. I've never even heard of there before.
So did it strike you as, before you heard this, did it strike you as odd when you heard that where she went and what they say allegedly happened? Did you question it at all?
Well, I didn't think it was real. I thought her family had made it up and had somebody call me and say that. So that's one big thing. I didn't think it was real.
Why would you think
When
it's
I found
fake?
out it
I
was
just don't
real.
understand that.
You know how like you tell somebody something, you tell them. Then when it happens, you don't want to say I told you so because it's a horrible thing. That's what I felt like. I felt like I told y'all.
Yeah,
like,
and
I
what
told
if-
her family this so many
What
times you
if
can't
this
imagine.
journal that she had was all her, like, I don't know. It's hard to, we need somebody else to come out and back the whole, where they witnessed some major, not just from her mouth. People have come out, her friends have came out and said, oh, Mica said this, Mica said that. But in order to completely discredit this dude, we need somebody else to come out and say they witnessed something, some of the things she's claiming. Your mom grew up in a Lumberton area, or if anybody, yeah, Lumberton, anybody can find where he's been to prove that he actually did know of this area. Because he said he'd never
I
even
told her
heard of it.
friends this. I told everybody. I said, if y'all don't get her lithium, she's going to commit suicide. Her doctor told her this on paperwork where her doctor said this. And then when I get the call, I felt like the world's biggest failure, because I spent the past 3 months when
What did the
her family
woman
got her out of
say?
the hospital.
What did the woman say from the car? And who was the woman? It wasn't like his girlfriend or something, was it? That he was been seen hanging out with? It'd have to be well, he's got mental problems, that's obvious too, but his might be, I'm kind of wondering if he's addicted to some kind of substance. I'm getting major addiction like vibes here. I don't. It might be alcohol, but which alcohol is just as bad, or if not even worse, than a lot of the drugs, because you can die off the withdrawal. It's, drinking and driving, blah, 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 all that. You don't know about Mica Miller? This dude's a pastor, and his wife unalived herself, I guess, but everybody was certain that he's the one that did it. But he has a solid alibi. I mean, there's no denying his alibi, I guess. But I don't know, like, people still believe somehow he's responsible. Like his family, like her family, all believes he's responsible in some way. He says that she has a mental issue that she needed her medicine for. And they did spend many years together, but they hadn't been together for like the last year and a half, the way he talked. So there's got to be somebody else that can back what he's saying. Yeah, but that came from her mouth, though, Rhonda. I just wonder if there's any type of proof of what she's saying. Because if there is, he needs to go to prison but also at the same time, it's not fair for people to think he's like this horrible person. If there is some kind of proof out there that what he's saying is true, that she was really having, because all this stuff that we've heard has come from Mica herself, either through her friends, like hearsay, or from Mica's mouth or writings.
And didn't bring her home. And her dad talked her into buying him a car, and all this stuff was happening that was all crazy. I made a vow that I was going to do something every single day to try to get her back on her lithium and
See, why
save
did
her
he
life.
have to
And
say
so
that?
every day I did something. Sometimes I did 4 or 5.
Her dad talked her into buying him a car. Why did he say that, Weird.
5, 6, 7 things. Some days it's just one thing, but every day, whether it was an email, a text, visit someone, talk to a family member, talk to a friend, go somewhere, go to a judge, go to probate. I'm going to do something to save her life. And I spent every single day for those 3 months doing that. So getting that phone call made me feel like the world's greatest failure. I was against the whole world, because everyone told me
it
that
doesn't, though, Julia.
it wasn't true, and that
Summer Wells is last.
I was making it up, and that whatever they were saying. So it was me against the world for 3 months, and I failed.
What was the call, and who was the call from, and what did they say?
Man, that's it was a man. I got a call, and it was I think it was a detective. I think, and I remember him being very calm and very nonchalant. And so that's why I thought, well, this is not real. And so I started screaming. I had a family member that was there with me. I started screaming for them to use their phone to call the hospital where the guy said she was at. And my family member called the hospital and said it was real. And I still didn't believe it. And so I called a police chief that I know somewhere around here, captain or somebody. And I said, there's a detective named such and such on the phone telling me these things. Like, is this real? Is this a real person or not? And that person told me that it was real as well. And I just remember, screaming really loud and throwing up everywhere. And
Hey, November Rain. Oh yeah, he threw up everywhere.
I remember throwing up. Did I have spaghetti that day? It was a lot of throw up. It was something red.
Oh my God.
What did they tell you?
Do you guys find that weird what he just said? Did I have spaghetti that day? Something red. It was a lot of throw up. What? What? Is anybody find that weird what he just said? That's odd. That just wasn't normal.
Screaming really loud and throwing up everywhere. And
What did they tell you?
I remember throwing up. Did I have spaghetti that day? It was a lot of throw up. It was something red. I'm sorry?
What did they tell you?
I don't remember that. Oh, no, I don't remember that. Hold on. I don't remember. He said, my family member called the hospital and spoke to, I think, either the head nurse or medical examiner or somebody. And that lady read me stuff that the Robinson County, I guess, had wrote on a piece of paper. And she was reading me suicide and the weapon and where it was at and all these different facts. And so then because the detective would not tell me it was suicide. And then I called him back and told him what the hospital told me, and he was pissed off and asked me who that lady's name was, and I didn't know her name. And if I did know, I wasn't going to tell him anyway, because I'm glad she told me. Anyway, and so, and I said, is this stuff true? And I can't remember if he said yes or just hung up. I don't remember.
Do you remember what he said, though?
No, man, I don't remember at all. If I try to enunciate it, I'll probably be making something up based on all the crashing